I really like the exotic bass. It has a lot of the key things that I look for in a bass. First of all, the headstock is angled, and I think that's really important for me, not to have any kind of anchors here. The strings flow better. When I bend a string, it goes right back in tune. It doesn't get kinked on anything. That's a really good thing about it. The bodywood is fantastic. It's swamp ash in the middle and a maple top. You can't really go wrong with that. The spacing is really good on this particular bass. It's extra wide on the right hand. And I grew up playing a P bass, so for me, I actually like it wider than a jazz bass. So in the right hand here, that's really important to me. Some other great features here, the preamp in here is really fantastic. And just the ability to have a tone knob. That's something that a lot of preamps don't have. They have the treble, you can cut the treble, but you can't having the tone knob is something that a passive bass usually has. And it's really nice to have that. Another great thing about this preamp is the fact that you can switch from series to parallel. So you get more of like a Music Man kind of sound. So which is really great, which is more, you know, it takes the mids out a little bit. But it's a natural sort of EQ. You're using the pickup to do that. That's a great thing. The Badass Bridge is by far, personally for me, the best bridge because it's, you know, it's just very stable. You can have almost any string spacing you want. Very solid sounding, nothing that rattles. You know, a lot of bridges rattle. You'll play something and you'll hear a little rattling going on and it'll go through the whole instrument. So that's a really important thing to have, in my opinion. These pickups are new to me, Kent Armstrong, and they have everything that you need. I mean, they have lows, highs, everything. They're a little brighter than a Bartolini, which I think is better, you know, because sometimes with the Bartolini you have to crank the high end on the amp. So for me, that works out really good too. Construction is fantastic. I mean, I really can't say anything else. And you also have like a little bit the strings through the body. Great idea. And you have the option with the Badass Bridge to not use that if you don't want to. So if you're on tour and you can't find strings that are extra long, you can put regular strings on there and go through the Badass the regular way. Also, the preamp has a little mid-range switch on here, so you can change the mid-range function on the bass. So depending on what you like. And there's also an output, which is very important because a lot of these effects, especially the vintage ones, were made for passive basses. So you know, you plug a really hot bass in there and it's going to distort all over the place. So it's good to have that as well to really, you know, fine-tune your setup. I like to have all the high end available to me. So for me, I tend to get up here a lot. So the cutaway has to be all the way up, not just, I don't like to do this. So this particular bass, I can get all the way to the very top. And also if you notice, like I mean, they did a great job with the frets because a lot of basses you can't do this. You know, to have it that in tune. That's amazing. To be able to play seconds like that. And it has a beautiful sustain on the low notes. Everything's, it almost sounds like there's a chorus on it. It's just very brilliant sounding. The sustain is really nice. If you're a fan of my playing at all, usually I have a lot of sustain. I like to almost sound like, it's not a wind instrument, but I like to be able to hold a note as long as I'd like to, and then have the choice to stop the note, not have the note stop like that. So I like basses that have a nice sustain. Makes me feel like I'm playing, like a wind instrument or something, so I can determine when I want to stop the note. This definitely has it. If you're looking for a bass, I highly recommend you looking at these basses. And the interesting thing about them is they sound like themselves, which is nice. It's a very contemporary sound that you'll definitely get into.